I'm going to show you the steps of making a claim, okay, and what you do. So we're going to look at the steps. First one, to issue a claim, you have to go to the county court. Yeah, either in the county court or online. Now, the county court, we have an equivalent, okay, but this would be un juzgado de primera instancia, okay, a small court. Then, you have to pay a fee. Do you know by chance how much you have to pay to issue a claim in Spain? But is it, I don't know, higher or lower than 50 euros? More than 50, okay. Do you know if it depends on the amount that you're claiming, or is it more than 50 euros for all of them? Okay, so percentage. In the UK, they have this, where they tell you all the fees. Okay, so if you're claiming up to £300, you'd have to pay 35 or 25, you know, depending if it's paper or online. Yeah, and then it becomes a percentage. Yeah, if it's more than 5,000, I believe that it's 5%. Yes, but you know, as long as this amount increases, you have to pay a higher fee, which makes sense, right? Next step. So you go to court, you pay your fee, and then they serve the claim. It just means that someone is going to send it to your address. Yes, and you receive it, and you have to sign it when you receive it. And we say that the solicitor serves a claim upon the defendant. Next, the defendant has to respond to the claim, and they have a period of 14 days. Then there are two options. Do you know what the two options are when you receive a claim? Okay, so you can respond or not respond, as you say. Okay. What happens if you don't respond to the claim? Okay, so if you don't respond to the claim, you assume that you have to pay an amount of money. Yes, then you pay this amount of money, and then this is finished. Yeah, or case dismissed. Yeah, we forget about it. And what happens if you respond to the claim? So if you respond to it, that usually means that you don't agree and you want to defend your claim. Yeah, that's what we say, that you're the defendant. Now, if the defendant decides to defend the claim, a judge will hear the case in the county court. When a judge hears a case, this is called a hearing, right? Now, I think it's very funny that in English they say the hearing, and in Spanish we say la vista. So the judge will listen to all the details of the claim from the point of view of the claimant and the defendant. Now, little question. Let's see if you know this. When there is a civil claim, who speaks first in court? The claimant or the defendant?
The claimer.
The claimant, yes. Is it different in criminal court? No?
I think it's...
Okay. Next, at the hearing, the judge will give a judgment. Okay, that means that he will announce the results of the case and give reasons for his decision. Do you know which words are used for the decision of the judge? Guilty? So you can say that the judge finds in favor of the claimant or the defendant. Yeah, perfect. But then Javier said something that I wanted to get there. He said guilty. So guilty is a word for the criminal court. Okay, not for the civil court. In the civil court, we say that the claimant or the defendant are responsible or not responsible, okay? But there is a different word to say this. Like, there is a more fancy word to say to say responsible or not responsible. We would say liable. If the judge finds in favor of the defendant, yeah, we would say that the defendant is not liable. Okay, so he's not guilty. Yeah, we'd say liable and not liable. Yeah, that's what I meant in here. Yeah. Then, if the defendant is liable, yeah, if they're responsible for their acts, then the judge will make a court order. Yes, and he's going to say what each of the parties has to do. how they have to do it, and when. Okay, so it's gonna give a deadline and maybe an amount of money that they have to pay or something else. Yeah, maybe it's not always money. It could be something different. And the parties have to make sure that they obey the instructions and take into account the time limits. What happens if they don't obey a court order?
The execution of the sentence.
There's an execution. Execution just sounds like you're going to kill someone, right? Yeah, you would say enforcement. Okay, so imagine that someone has to pay 1,000 euros. Yes, and the judge says you have to pay 1,000 euros by January 10th. Okay, and then it is tomorrow and this person doesn't pay. Then we're gonna have a person take some property from this defendant that has not paid. Now, do you know what's the name of this person that takes property from someone? The bailiff is the person that collects the money or takes a person's property if they don't pay.